Welcome back to Diaries of a Christian Entrepreneur. How are you guys? Great to have you here again. So I want to spend a little bit of time on the ask and it shall be given myth. Well, it's not actually a myth, but it's partly true, right? We always get that thrown at us. Ask and it shall be given, or you have not because you ask not. So let's talk about that and our thoughts around those phrases. So usually people say you ask for something, you have to ask for something, believe it and then receive it, right? I don't think it should be that, right? I think it's partly true, but we are forgetting a big part of that scenario. I believe that belief is first before we ask anything, right? And I say that because people just tend to say, you want it, you ask for it, you got it, right? Whether you are a Christian or not a Christian, or even when you are already deep in your faith, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have the belief that you need in order to say, ask for something, right? Ask and it shall be given to you, right? In order for you to get that. So I think a lot of our prayers sometimes go something like, if I only had a man, like I wouldn't be so lonely. I would feel a certain way, or I would feel worthy. Probably don't use that word worthy, but I would feel like, yeah, like I matter, right? Or if I had a certain amount of friends, I would feel, if a certain amount of followers, I would feel worthy. I would feel like I matter. So God, can you give me a spouse, or can you give me a booming Instagram account, right? Or God, once I get this job, like, no, this job right here, once I get this job, I will be set for life, right? So I want this job. Give me this job, okay? And I feel like sometimes our prayers go something like that. We want this, we want it. This, and I want to receive it just like how I said it. And the problem with that is, right, I am not saying we should not ask for what we want. Don't misunderstand me, right? The problem is we kind of put a lot of stock on that thing in which we want. Of course, we want it. But there are, is that thing for us? How should we go about this, right? We want this particular job and nothing else, or we want this particular man and nobody else, right? We want this particular thing and nothing else. And we hold so much value on this specific thing, right? And that is my point. I think that it is belief first, then ask and receive. Why? Because your belief is your faith. Your faith is an activator, right? Your faith activates everything. You cannot ask for things and then expect it, maybe think it's going to come true, then it happens, right? And that's not how it goes, right? You have to have firm belief. You have to have firm faith in order for this to work out. Faith is the belief of things unseen, right? You have to have this unwavering faith. Why? Because once you have that belief, that faith first, right? First, right? You know that anything and everything that you ask for is already done, right? Anything that you want, your heart desires, as long as it doesn't go against God's teachings, anything that you want and you desire, right, is already yours, right? So you do not put that much stock and value in this specific thing. You know that ultimately anything that you want in your life, right, that you desire will happen, right? That's just how it is. That is only when you have belief first and foremost. That is not when you have all of these parameters around, well, I want this and I want it how I want it, and that's it. So God, you said anything I want, I can have. I just have to ask it. If I ask not, I will have not, right? You said just ask for it and I will have it. That's not how it works, because if you do not have belief, there is nothing to activate what you are asking for, right? That is how it works, right? Belief, that faith is a strong word, that faith is an activator, right? I feel like we've gotten so good at coming to God only when we want things. So we use things in the Bible, phrases in the Bible, like you have not because you ask not, to say, well, I can have anything I want, right? Yes, you can. But there's definitely some parameters around that, right? You have to have faith, right? That God is doing everything and working it out for your ultimate good, right? So, in essence, there are some things that you are not going to get. There are some things that you are probably going to get a lot later. There are some things that are not going to happen in the way that you want it to happen. Believe me, it is all working out for your good. But there are some things that are not going to go in the exact way that you want it to go, right? I did a video before about relinquishing control. That is a big thing. We have to relinquish control because the fact is we don't have it. We don't have control, right? And as humans, we want to control everything. As humans, we want to have a handle on what is going on in our lives. But that's why faith, a lot of people have a problem with faith, because it is the belief of things unseen. People say, like, well, how can I have control if I can't see, if I don't know what's going on? How can I have control? The point is to not have control. The point is that you put all of your faith and belief in a God that is working everything out for your good, so that when you actually ask for things, you already know that it is done. It is already given to you, right? It is now just about receiving what you ask for, right? Does that make sense? It is just about receiving what you ask for, right? So our faith has to be a big kind of faith. Faith has to be the faith that can move mountains, right? I'm not saying that this just happens, right? I'm going to tell you in a minute how we can do that, but faith is a big deal, right? Faith is a big deal. I think it's Hebrews 1:11. I think I got that right. Hebrews 1:11, that says faith is the reality of what we hope for. It is the evidence of things we cannot see, right? So faith is the reality. Faith is the confidence. This is just different ways of saying the same thing. Faith is the reality. Faith is the confidence. Faith is the assurance that everything that I ask for is already going to happen, right? So it's not if it's going to happen. It's not, well, maybe it might happen, right? Everything that you want for your life is going to happen when you have faith. So that verse is not just a definition of what faith is. It is actually saying faith is the reality, right? It is with confidence. It is with assurance, right? That everything and anything that you hope for, everything and anything that you want in your life, right? Right? It is evident of things unseen, right? It will happen because God has already said it will come to pass, right? But that does not occur if belief is not the first part of that equation, right? So you cannot just ask for what you want and say, God, you told me just to come to you and ask for it. Yeah, but do you have that unwavering belief, that unwavering faith that even before I ask for what I want, it's already done? Do you have that, right? Are you in that space, in that thought process, right? Everything that you ask for is already guarantees. There's not a maybe or anything that. So I am not saying it may not come in the way you want it to come. It may not come when you want it to come. It may not come how you want it to come, right? But it is done, right? He never promised all that other stuff. He promised that it's already taken care of, right? But I want us to understand that without the first part of that equation, without the belief, right? Without that faith, those things cannot happen. Okay, so we have to have that strong faith. Okay, and how you can get that strong faith, that's pretty simple. It's all you have to do is ask, right? When you go to him in prayer, you should ask for spirit of faith. You should ask for not just a little faith, right? A spirit of radical faith. You should ask for, I need to trust you, God, that everything that you said is going to happen is going to happen, right? I'm going to ask you for crazy belief. I'm going to ask you for crazy faith, right? I need to have faith, right? That this is going to work out. All you have to do is ask for that. And if you're struggling with that, continually asking for that. Because now when I pray for things, right? When I'm in the middle of something, even when I'm grateful, even when I am thanking God for everything that he's already done, and I'm asking him, thank you, but give me more wisdom, more understanding, thank you, right? Even in any type of prayer, right? I know that whatever I ask for is going to come to pass, because I believe that everything he has for me is already done, right? Right? And a lot of things, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if anybody else does this. If I ask for it like a few times, I'm done asking, right? Because I feel like he's already heard that, it's already done. Whenever it comes is when it comes. I'm probably in the middle of receiving it, and I have to be patient, right? That's how my mind works, right? But when something new comes up and I ask, I go to him in prayer and ask for help with that, I honestly, it doesn't keep going around in my head. I don't keep on coming. This is just me. I don't keep on going to him for that thing, just because I believe that once I've already done this, it is already done. He already knows that I'm going to come to him asking for this thing, or come to him asking for help in a particular area, right? He already knows that stuff. So to me, once I do that, and ask for that help, I know that it's already done. It's already in the works of happening, right? It's already happening through me, or right, whenever the fruition of that prayer happens is when it happens, right? That is how my mind works, right? So I think we need to, when we say things like, ask and it shall be given, true, right? It is true, but do not forget the part in the beginning where we have to have that unwavering belief, right? And we can get that by going to him and talking to him and asking, please help me with having that unwavering belief, with that radical faith, right? Please help me with that. Tell me your thoughts below about this ask and it shall be given kind of myth, or you have not because you ask not. Tell me your thoughts around that. Okay,